The Crimson Blade has long been synonymous with the Sith, it being a deeply held tradition for many millennia. However, there have been some notable exceptions to this. As we've explored in previous videos, Darth Revan used a purple and red blade, symbolizing his duality between the light and the dark and lack of affiliation with either the Jedi or Sith. However, Revan was not the only Sith Lord to use a different color to the traditional red. In fact, Exar Kun never even used a red lightsaber, but for a completely different reason to Revan. Exar Kun wielded a double-bladed blue-white lightsaber, which was similar in coloration to his Jedi blade. However, this saber wasn't simply the blade he had used when he was a Jedi, and in my opinion is one of the most fascinating sabers to ever exist. Exar had made several dark side alterations to the blade using the teachings of an ancient Sith. The most notable alteration was the addition of another emitter, with both blades being capable of adjusting their length. This allowed Exar Kun to have an incredibly unorthodox lightsaber style, defeating many opponents by catching them off guard. However, this was not the only addition he made to the saber. Exar imbued the hilt with the dark side, dramatically increasing the intensity of the blade. It could cut through almost anything with ease, even force-imbued blades and Mandalorian Beskar armor. Despite not being red, Exar's blade was considered to be one of the most prominent dark-side objects in the galaxy, and was known to emit an aura of dark-side energies which caused his Jedi opponents to become uneasy and fearful. Its dark-side capabilities were so immense that the Jedi Council deemed that it must be put in deep quarantine after the demise of the Sith. Jedi who got too close to it noticed an allure to the dark side, while Darksiders experienced an amplification of their powers. In extreme cases, it could even instantly corrupt Jedi to the dark side, simply by touching it. The reason why this blade is not red is twofold. First, Exar Kun lived 1,000 years after Naga Sadow, the Sith Lord who had waged war against the Republic. By the time of Exar Kun, the Sith was simply a distant memory. Exar was just a power-hungry Jedi, hoping to remake the Sith who were presumed to be vanquished from the galaxy. Therefore, quite simply, he was never made aware of this loose tradition of red lightsabers while learning about the Sith. Second, the Sith tradition of using a red blade was not so heavily ingrained at this time. Freedon Nad, the Sith spirit who turned Exar Kun to the dark side, had in fact used a bronze-colored saber, and many other ancient Sith refused to use a lightsaber at all. Although the first Sith Lords, such as Ajun Tapal and Karness Mur, had used red blades, this tradition had clearly fallen out of practice over the millennia. Even the great Naga Sadow had preferred to use a force-imbued Sith sword, laced with poison. Many of these ancient Sith believed that a traditional sword allowed for a stronger connection to the dark side, due to the pain it inflicted upon their enemies. The complete replacement of Sith swords with red lightsabers took place under the leadership of Vitiate, in a bid to strengthen his new Sith Empire. However, during the time of Exar Kun, 4,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, Vitiate's Sith Empire remained hidden in the unknown regions, with their existence known to almost no one. And it was for these reasons that Exar Kun never adopted a red blade, although others after him such as Darth Maul, Darth Krayt and Darth Revan all utilized different color blades, all also owned a red blade, with Exar Kun being the last true exception to this rule.